Okay, it's been a long time since I put a video on YouTube. This is my new shop. Put a 2-post lift in it, and that was a brand new Ford lift made by Rotary. I moved. I left my other house in Washington and I moved back to my rental house that I've been renting for a few years in Utah. So I'm off the West Coast and I no longer have that garage. I have a puny garage in my new house. So I have rented this shop here. It's got a heater and plenty of ample room for me to work and wrench, and I'm actually going to be wrenching for a living out of this a little bit. It's a good sized shop, 12-foot ceilings, barely got this lift in there. Thought for just safety I put a couple of boards tied into the trusses to stabilize it in case it ever leaned, because the concrete kind of sucks here. But anyway, we put it in. So much better situation for working on cars though compared to my other shop. Didn't have the ceiling height. Now I can really get underneath it. So still haven't done the 427 stroker yet. That's still to come. But when I towed it here, I put it on a tow dolly, and being a manual, I thought it'd be fine to tow it with the wheels in the back. I didn't disconnect the driveline. Paid the price on that one. Not a big deal. $10 disaster. What it ended up doing, this is the T56. There is a race that goes down and presses into the back of the input shaft right there. And then there is a hub that presses on there, and there's a roller bearing. This is called the pocket bearing. Now on older T5s, they use about 13 different needle rollers independent, and it chews the shaft up. In this case, I'm fine because it presses a new one on. I just got to press a piece on and I'm good to go. So I melted them down to pretty much tar, just molten metal. It was bad. Really tricky extracting this shaft or getting the race out of here. Had to weld in carefully. Had to carefully weld in a washer with a bolt behind it, and then I pulled it out with a slide hammer to extract that. The heat did not, you gotta be careful when you overheat these gears, they're gone. They get soft and then they'll never hold any power. The gears, I don't know if you can see, the light sucks, but you can't see them, but the teeth are still in really good shape. The heat didn't get too far. Same with the main shaft here. The main shaft is final. Just press a new one on, we'll be good to go. But you live and learn. I've got this transmission down though. So I had to, I don't know if you remember other videos, I had to put a new cluster in. There's that cluster I put in, and this input was new as well. This is that 26 spline input. So I'll get the bearing and I'll put this all back together. It only takes about an hour to put this all back together. It's not too bad. And then putting it back up in that guy is freaking awesome now because I actually invested in a few tools. One being that well, it's a two-phase, I don't know, two-phase isn't the right word to say, but two-stage, that's what I'm looking for. Two-stage hydraulic transmission jet gets all the way up there, strap the transmission in and just chuck it in. No more back-breaking work. This is my little shop, and I'm excited to have a lift and be able to do what I want to do in here. So the lift is about 3,000 bucks. I don't know if I said that or not, but it does 10,000 pound lift. I picked a 9,500 pound truck up with it already, and it was kind of like, wow, that's a lot of weight on it, but this thing's light, so we're good to go. But I'm just gonna get this guy back up and rolling again so I can drive him again. You saw in one of my previous videos that I was rebuilding the engine, and I did rebuild the engine, but I made a horrible mistake. I should have balanced the crankshaft when I had it out, because the guy, when I got the motor originally, it was balanced up, but they used the original flywheel and machined it to a 28-ounce flywheel, and then they also modified the 50-ounce and balance harmonic balancer and just modified that, where they didn't take metal off the crank. So they may have taken a little bit, I don't know. But I've tried 28-ounce, 50-ounce, it just vibrates like all get out. So I've got to pull the engine. I'll do that in the next few days. And flip it upside down, unbolt the caps, take the oil pan off, unbolt the caps, and then I will pull the crank out and pull one piston out. I can take, it's funny enough, I don't know if you know this, but on a Ford small block, you can pull out the #1 piston from the bottom. A lot of people don't know that, but the number one piston on a small block Ford will clear out the bottom once the crank is out. It's the only piston that'll do it. I need that for a bob weight, and then I'm going to balance it all. These are my tires that are just about out of life. I've spun these things to no end, but anyway, I'll make some more videos, and eventually I'll start building that motor that is in my garage at my house. I'll have to bring it down here, start building it. That's it.